We have an interesting feature on Strictly Business this week with our sunshine girl, Zara Hernandez. Zara?
Thanks, Butch. I am Sarah Hernandez, your sunshine girl for this week, and I'm so happy to be back here on Business and Leisure. We're leading in now to Strictly Business, the segment for entrepreneurs, and this week, our entrepreneur is a young lady who lived in San Francisco and discovered a lifelong passion there. Well, she's back in the Philippines now and decided to live her passion right here in her own country of birth. Everyone loves ice cream, and that is an undisputed fact. Edeline Gamboa-Lu is no exception, and when she lived in San Francisco several years back, after living in the Philippines for most of her life, she rekindled her passion for ice cream, which led to her to start a very profitable and fulfilling business venture.
I lived in San Francisco for 10 years, so I studied in Ateneo, and then I took my master's in San Francisco, and that's really where my palate became more broad, since San Francisco is really the melting pot of a lot of different cuisines and very adventurous kinds of food that's being offered. So that's where I started, getting really into food and having the passion for really good food and clean eating. So I adopted the clean eating of the California mentality. So what that means is that you watch what you eat. So for example, oftentimes there's a lot of produce that use a lot of fertilizers, and California is very into organic food. So that's what I learned. I learned how to adapt that for myself. So I was an analyst for a brokerage firm, and but for my whenever it's like if I have to look for advice, it would have to be eating out and eating ice cream. So that's how I actually got into making ice cream for myself. It was because when I knew I was gonna go home to Manila, I wanted to create a product that I would know what's exactly inside my product, and I would also watch the sugar content. So that's how we developed Vogue City.
Ice cream is one food that has no shortage of brands, both here and especially in other countries. So we asked Edeline, why ice cream?
Okay, why ice cream? Well, I think for me, ice cream is really something that's very decadent. It's very indulgent, but at the same time, it's something that you can play a lot of. It's very reminiscent of your childhood. When we were kids, we loved to eat ice cream, and I wanted to elevate that to a different level.
Edeline says that it was pure passion that drove her to experiment and eventually perfect her own brand of ice cream. In the beginning, it wasn't intended to be a business venture, just an indulgence for her passionate love of good, creamy ice cream that was several notches higher than the commercial brands one can buy in any supermarket. Schooled here at the Ateneo, she never had any culinary background, so her inclination towards this indulgent food was a puzzle to many. The inquisitive, information-hungry lady that she was, she ventured into this completely unknown arena with sheer guts and a lot of gumption to learn more about it.
I'm very self-taught, so as you can see, my background is not culinary. I learned on my own. So while I was in San Francisco, I really took advantage of the good ingredients that they had there, and that's when I realized that you really have to invest in good ingredients. Anything that you make, it doesn't have to be ice cream. The flavor of the food would really shine if you use really high-end ingredients. So I learned, everything is very self-taught. I read a lot of books, everything is trial and error. And because I've tried a lot of ice cream over the years, I could really detect like how to more or less gravitate towards, let's say, more milk or cream, because there's really a science behind ice cream itself.
It was trial and error all over again for Edeline as she was starting out, but she learned from research and hands-on experience until she perfected her recipe.
My peg at the time was because my favorite flavor was salted caramel of Buy Right Creamery. So I lived very close by, so I would go maybe once a week. So that was my one of the things I used to love doing. So even whether it's very, very cold, I would brave the long lines just to have ice cream.
And when she knew that she was going back to Manila for good, she also knew that she had to perfect her salted caramel ice cream, which she intended to share with family and friends in Manila.
Because our vision is really, we don't really use a lot of ingredients in our ice cream, but then we make sure it's quality ingredients, and parang that's a California mentality feeding it. So that's how we adopted, our company as well, sharing it to the Filipinos that, you don't have to mask the flavor of something, because if it's really, really good ingredients, it can be simple, it can be just a key simple ingredients, and you go back to old school.
And that is the way Fog City Creamery makes its own brand of ice cream. The old school way, with basic ingredients of eggs, milk, cream, and sugar, but the difference is in the freshness of their ingredient.
There's a lot of really good farms here in Manila now that produces fresh milk, and we're very fortunate to partner with a lot of them. And there's a lot of collaborators that like chocolates, for example, there's a lot of local chocolates now, and those are the ones that we use because we don't want to use those that have been mass produced. We want to be able to highlight the product.
Actually, when she started churning out her Fog City ice cream, it was for self-consumption. But she proudly brought her artisanal ice cream to her potluck dinners with her old classmates until such time that her friends couldn't wait for the next potluck dinner to taste her ice cream. Soon she was making and selling ice cream to friends who could readily tell the difference between good artisanal ice cream than the popular brands in the groceries.
And one of that is that we don't put preservatives and we don't put any chemicals or stabilizers. And the Filipinos have started to look at the things that they're putting into their body.
Just look at how many organic markets have sprouted in the metropolis, validating what Edeline has just said.
Our sugar-free line, we have a sugar-free line. We use organic cocoa sugar, we use Coco Natura. And the reason why I do that is because I didn't want to put any Splenda or Stevia because those are chemically derived. There's nothing wrong with that, but then because I still wanted to keep in line with our vision, which is not putting anything chemically oriented in our ice cream.
After her limited distribution to friends and family, an opportunity broke out for this young entrepreneur.
There were a couple of organizers such as Pinoy Eats World. They're a group of organizers that actually ask home purveyors like myself to join and then to sell. So we started selling in Podium at the time because it was organized by this group of people. So we started there, and then slowly it started to get popular with people knowing more about it. But we formally would say started selling in maybe 2010, early 2011.
From there, Fog City Creamery has developed about 35 flavors and continues to develop about 4 flavors each year.
A lot of the big companies actually ask us to customize flavors for them, and we've done that for Emperador. We've done that for Manil Calamansi Liqueur. We've done that for others as well, where they give us the product and say, can you make an ice cream flavor based on this? And we've been doing that, and it's fun. It's very challenging, but it's fun.
Edeline started out her home business in a small and prudent way, with only one high-quality ice cream machine, which she bought in Italy, home of the gelato, and the rest, as they say, is history. Fog City's ice cream comes in pint sizes, quarts which are equivalent to 2 pints, and quarts or the equivalent of 4 pints. Lately, she has come up with personal cups, 3.5 ounces of good ice cream that is perfect for children's parties or functions.
Since 2011, a lot of people have been asking us to do birthday parties. We actually had a really cute client that wanted it for a wedding, and we were really surprised because they did it during the ceremony. So right after the ceremony, in between the ceremony and the reception, they served ice cream to their guests. So instead of serving alcohol, they served ice cream.
Right now, when Fog City has claimed its own niche in the artisanal ice cream market here in the Philippines, they are spreading their wings and spreading the taste of what artisanal ice cream should be. They will soon be in Echo stores, and Edeline is looking forward to conquering not just Metro Manila, but the rest of the archipelago as well.
Actually, we've been hearing a lot of people that want to carry it which we're thrilled because we want Fog City to reach other places like Cebu or Davao or Bacolod, and that's something that we really want to see. That's something that we're looking into. That's something that Fog City wants for its future, to really spread its wings and to spread the flavor to other people.
And rightly so. If you have successfully built a brand that is respected and loved, it is a legacy that you will want to protect fiercely. And right now, more and more people are discovering her signature dishes that are to die for.
Our signature flavors are our best-selling flavors. So I think I have over 12 that is part of our signature. One thing that's also nice about us is that if there's something you see in our menu, we'll make it for you. So we do pickup points, so meaning focaccia is a pickup point and so is value verified. So if our resellers don't have it, we can make it for you and you can always pick it up. So it's not like it's not something that if you see it, then you feel like, oh, then I can't have it if they don't have it in focaccia. But no, we can actually make it and then you just pick up the flavor from us.
And to validate Fog City's acceptance in the market, they have earned their Just Awards for their artisanal ice cream. Their ensaymada ice cream was an instant hit.
So much so that during the Madrid Fusion, we offer that for all the foreign chefs. We did that for the VIP lunch where we serve both the ensaymada ice cream and the calamansi with candied pili for all the VIP guests and the foreign chefs.
With unique flavors like Ferrero Rocher with Nutella or chocolate-covered strawberries or Nutella latte, all the childhood flavors that make up your fantasy world, who can resist ice cream? Or the Sorrento with limoncello, white chocolate and almonds, or the matcha white chocolate. We can go on and on because Fog City created at least 35 flavors to choose from. And what is this young entrepreneur's advice to those aspiring to try their hand in business?
My advice is really, if you want to do something and it's something that you really love to do or it's your passion, you go for it. You go for it. You go out there, and try not to get discouraged. There's going to be a lot of roadblocks along the way, and the one thing that's going to keep you going is if you love what you're doing. Because if you love what you're doing, you're going to go all the way, and that's really my biggest advice. I've been doing this for quite some time, and we have had our own challenges. But then what really kept me going is because I love doing it. And if it weren't for that, then maybe I would have given up a long time ago. So my advice is if you love it, then you just keep on going and don't look back. Don't look back. And if there's negative things that you hear, you block it out. Because everything, it's something that if you believe in yourself, you believe in your product, it's really good, then it will sell itself. You don't have to hard sell it to anybody. It will sell it by itself. And that's one thing you have to remember.
And if you're salivating now for those swirls of Nutella or the salted caramel, here is Edelin's personal invite.
Hi everyone! Well, my name is Eddie. I'm from Fog City Creamery. I invite everyone to come to Focaccia in Avenue Mall ground floor. This is actually the only restaurant that does it by scoop of Fog City ice cream. So what we do is we send a lot of flavors here, especially all of our new flavors. We send it here to Focaccia so you can try it per scoop. Or you can also do pickup here if you like pints or other sizes. We have pickup points also in value verified. And we have resellers. So Kitayama Meat Shop in front of Makati Cinema Square is a reseller. Malcolm's Deli is a reseller. Dessert Specialist in Quezon City is also a reseller. So they carry most of our flavors, so you can also grab a pint there. And if you get confused, you can always reach us via Facebook. You can send us a message. It's Fog City Creamery. We have an Instagram account as well. And Twitter. So, but you can always text me. You can call us. It's 0917-883-3344.
Just looking at those pints sweating with cold, those swirls of chocolate and creamy goodness of good old ice cream makes one want to hit the road and get a pint of all of that goodness right now. That is all I've got for you guys though for this week, but I will definitely be back really soon. This is Sarah Hernandez and I bring you back to Butch.